Hi, everybody. I hope that this finds you well. Riding the waves of sensation that come along with so many new changes. Hoping that you're riding those waves with ease at moments, knowing that it probably won't always be easy, right? So just remembering to begin again, to find some sense of normalcy and routine, I think helps. It's helping me. The past 2 days have been a bit tricky. Haven't seen much sunlight here where I am in the past couple days, which always kind of helps me to stay positive and think expansive thoughts. I come back to the Peter Pan, think happy thoughts, right? And so that is a practice that I've been trying to implement, especially today. And practice, I know, helps. Movement helps me a lot. So looking for a little bit of movement today and wishing you all well as you ride the waves of an ever-changing reality, right? So we'll just start seated, a comfortable seat of your choosing with a tall spine. It can be a cross-legged position. It can be legs extended, straight legs, or wide legs. Maybe it's a combination of a bent knee and an extended leg. Something under the seat can always provide a more comfortable seat, so feel free to grab that. Call on your gaze to soften or your eyes to close. Locate a tall spine. Find a big deep breath in through the nose, followed by a complete breath out through the mouth. Twice more like that. And as many more of those as you need, the in through the nose and out through the mouth breath, as many of those as you need. And as you feel ready, let the breath transition to be in and out of the nostrils. Feel the belly expand as you breathe in and hug in as you breathe out. We'll jump right into movement. So as you exhale, shoulders round, chin for chest, belly for spine. On your inhale, a forward tilt on the sitting bones, shoulders back, look up. Let your spine cow and cat. Continue to bring the mind back to the sound of the breath. Call on that breath to brush past the back of the throat. Take on that ocean sound of the Ujjayi breath. Come back to a neutral spine, then let the spine spiral. So let the torso spiral. You're combining your cow and cat fluctuations of spine with a spiraling of your torso. So the chest draws forward, weight shifts to the left seat, and then back towards the back of the sitting bones as the spine rounds through a cat arc, and then over to the other sitting bones and through a cow arc. Let the spine spiral. Change the direction of your rotations. Do the best you can. best you can for movement, the best you can for breath, the best you can for presence. And that willingness to surrender to however it is that you're feeling, to the emotions moving through. So I'm finding that sometimes the emotions can just feel too much to hold space for. And I think of emotions sometimes as a pressure cooker, and pressure cookers need to release the steam. And I find that crying can help. It can kind of be that emotional release that's needed as a means of processing. Right? So don't be afraid to just let yourself have a good cry. Whether it's grieving, so keep just shifting direction as you feel called in these spirals. Whether it's grieving for what has been or concern for what might be, right? All of those sensations, all of those thoughts create emotion. So be willing to feel to the best of your ability. I think it's interesting that this COVID-19, the virus attacks the lungs. And any ailment in lungs is often associated energetically with an imbalance, something having to do with grief. Right? So allow yourself to grieve, to feel as much as you're able to amidst presence and kind attention for yourself, the earth, life upon the earth, what has been, what is. As you come back through center, find your neutral spine, shoulders circle up, back, and around. Change the direction of your rotations. Stick with the movement, stick with the breath. If the mind starts to grab attention down a train of thought, redirect the mind upon the breath. Release your shoulder circles. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up and over. Circle through this left shoulder circles. Remember that you can always change your seat at any time, modify your exploration in any way that you need so as not to be in pain. Left arm circles. And then come all the way back up to the other side. And left hand comes down, right arm circles. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep softening the left shoulder. Change direction. And then come all the way back up. Find your way to hands and knees. And then right back to a child's pose. Stack your fists here, let your forehead rest on your top fist, just giving yourself a little bit of support, a little bit more space. From here, release the arms. Walk the hands as far to your right as you can. Look back toward the back left-hand corner of your mat. And just call on the left side. Look back toward the back right-hand corner of your mat. Call on the left side of the head just to rest on your left arm, or just let that head hang. Maybe you have a block that the head can rest on, or a pillow. Take your time to feel your way through this moment with breath, with kind attention. Hands walk back through center and over to the left side. Let the right side of the head rest down on that right arm or the floor or a block, or just let that head hang as you look back toward the back left-hand corner of your mat. Walk your hands through center and come all the way up to a tabletop. From your tabletop, circle through the left hip, left side hip circles. Left side hip circles. First in one direction and then the other. Switch sides. First in one direction and then the other. From here, release your forearms down to the mat, interlace your fingers, tuck the toes, lift your seat to the sky, head off the mat here, walk your feet toward your elbows just a bit, pedal out the feet. This is your dolphin. Modified, you might have the knees down, stretching one leg back and then the other leg. From here, walk the feet back, glide forward, shoulders over elbows. This is your forearm plank. Heels are reaching away. Release your hips, release your legs. Parallel your forearms with the long of the mat, elbows right below the shoulders. Pull the chest forward toward the front of the mat. Grip your finger pads, look up. Breathing here. Let the low jaw hang and just give that jaw a little bit of a sway. Release any holding in the jaw. Come on down to the belly, stack your hands, rest your chin, forehead, or one side of the face on the hands. Bend the knees, circle the shins. Relax the shoulders here. Continue to come back to the breath. Change the direction of your shin circles. Release your shins down to the mat. Roll to your right hip from here, right elbow right underneath the right shoulder. From here, lift the left leg. Catch as far up the left leg with your left hand as you can. As far up the left leg with the left hand as you can. Circle through the left wrist. Try to root down into the right pinky toe, down into the mat. Right pinky toe roots down. Sometimes there's that hip cramp that can come in. So if you get that kind of awful hip cramp, bend your knee, work out that sensation in your hip, and then come back in. Circle through the left ankle. Keep breathing here. See if you can balance right on the edge, right on that sort of bony outer part of your left hip, of your right hip, And from here, step this left foot forward, left toes face out. Left foot is planted on the outside of your mat, somewhere between your knee and your hip on that right side. Press down into the right forearm. See if you can get that right hip off the mat. Left arm reaches up. Pinky toe side of that right foot is down. Stretch your left fingers for the front of the mat. Spread your ribs on the left side. Look up. Feel the right fingers. Shoulder blades down the back. If it's challenging, stick with it. Stick with it. Trust your ability, your strength. Feel your vulnerability as well. Trust the breath. Left arm reaches up. Bring that right hand down to the mat. Slide your left leg back to meet the right and return to your belly. From your belly, parallel your left forearm with the front of your mat. Left elbow right underneath the left shoulder. Stack your legs, feet in line with hips. Then lift the right leg to the sky. Circle through the right ankle. You're catching as far up this right leg as you can. Try to maintain a long waist. Let your core structure help to support that long waist. Lift and lengthen the left waist here. Change the direction of your rotations. Just notice what balance is like today, if it's solid or shaky. Release your ankle circles. Step that right foot to the outside of your mat, right toes face out. Press down into your left forearm. Lift the right arm to the sky. So you can always keep this left hip down, or you're pressing into that left forearm and lifting the left hip. Right arm reaches beyond the crown of your head. Feel your left fingers. Breathe in and breathe out. Even steady breath. Stay here as long as you can. Be willing to kind of dance into and out of your edge. Trust that your ability is probably far greater than you're giving yourself credit for, right? So stick with it. Dance with your edge. Be willing to trust your power, your courage, your strength. Right arm reaches up. Release the right hand down. Release the left hip down. Slide the right leg back. Come back to your belly. Forearms parallel with the long of your mat. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Pull the heart forward. Lengthen out of your waist and look up with breath. Release the head. Slide your hands back beneath your elbows. Press into those palms. Chest up. Hips up, tabletop. Let your hips rock here, side to side, side to side. Lift your belly toward your spine. Try to take out any sway of your low back. Come through 4 cow and 4 cat. Seat to sky, chest up, look up as you inhale, round the spine as you exhale. From here, come back into your neutral spine. Step your left foot forward between the hands. Reach your arms to the sky. Scoop that tailbone down and ahead. Arc your spine up and back. Reach back. Look back. Holding here. Feel the left toes. Keep breathing. Up on an in-breath through center. Hands slide down the midline. Bring your right elbow to the top of the left knee. From here, keep that right thumb right at the heart. Reach the left arm to the sky. Check in with balance. You might look down, look out, look up. Whoop. If you fall out, just come right back in. That willingness to begin again. Left hand meets the right. Palms to prayer. Square those hips with the front of your mat. Reach your arms up on an inhale. Then bring these hands to the inside of your left foot. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, and pivot your back heel to the floor. Left forearm to the top of the left thigh. Right arm reaches up. This is your lateral angle. Find some big windmilling circles with this right arm. Keep scooping the left seat under, root down through the toes, lengthen out of the waist. Change direction. Bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Heel toe this left foot out to the left just a little bit. Plant that right palm down. Right knee is up or down. Left arm reaches up. Big windmilling circles here with the left arm. With breath. Change the direction of your rotations. Stick with it. Release this left hand down to the inside of the left foot. Release your right knee down as well. Hop that right foot back just a little bit. Heel toe this left foot in toward the midline. Roll toward the pinky toe side of your left foot. Let your hips rock a bit side to side. So maybe you stay up high here. Maybe you soften the elbows and let the head hang. Maybe you come down to your forearms. Or catch the sole of the left foot with the right hand to reach the left arm up. So lots of options, lots of options. Breathing into this left hip. Relax the low jaw. Stay in here as long as you're able. Release as you're ready. As you come back to your palms, come to the sole of that left foot. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, hands widen to frame the left foot. Right foot steps forward. With feet slightly wider than hip distance, engage the belly, slowly roll up. Arms reach to the sky, big breath in here, look up. Bring your hands to the small of your low back, fingers face the seat. Elbows in, hips forward, chest up, lengthen. Bring that head up first as you inhale. Hands down the front of the legs as you exhale. Halfway up, breathe and look forward. Exhale, bow. Keep your right foot forward. Step the left foot back for a lunge. Bring that left knee down to the mat. Arms up to the sky, big breath in, tailbone down and ahead. Lift the sternum as you reach and gaze behind. Up to neutral, inhale. Hands down the midline, left elbow to the top of the right knee. Bring that left hand to the heart center, reach the right arm to the sky. Left rib cage scoops under, right rib cage opens back. Stick with it. If you fall out, begin again. Come back. Right hand meets the left. Come back to center. Arms reach up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, pivot your back heel to the floor. Right forearm to the top of the right thigh, left arm to the sky. Windmilling circles here, first in one direction, and then the other. Release your rotations, hands frame that right foot. Come onto the ball of the left foot, release the left knee down. Slide this left foot back just a little bit, heel toe this right foot out to the right. Hands to the inside of this right foot. Start to roll toward the pinky toe side of this right foot. Soften your forearms. Surrender the mind. You'll stay here or come down to the forearms. Maybe that left hand catches the right foot as the right arm reaches up. You might explore the direction of gaze. Release the hands down as you're ready. Come back to the sole of that right foot. Left toes tuck under. Lift the left knee, heel toe that right foot in toward the midline. Left knee might be down here. Reach the right arm up for a twist. In and out with breath. Release this right hand to the inside of the right foot. Left heel pivots to the floor. Walk your hands toward that back foot. A wide standing forward bend. Bend and straighten the knees here. Invite those forearms as close to the mat as you can, which might mean straight arms with a little bit of a bend in the elbows. And however safely you can get down to the mat for your knees. So really moving with the knees in mind. Come on down to the mat. Once you find your knees, find as wide of a stance as you can. As wide of a stance as you can. You might want extra cushion beneath the knees. Toes out, heels in. So as much as possible, a 90-degree angle with your femurs and your shins, toes out, heels in. So you're on the inner arches of the feet. I would show you, but I have a closet door here. So as long as your toes are pivoting out and you're on the inner arches or the inner ankles, you're in the right position. See about coming down to your forearms. So this is frog, Mandukasana. Down on the forearms. Try not to let your hips come in front of your knees. You might stack your fists to support your head. Maybe you widen those forearms and come down to the chest. Hands might stack for the chin to rest on, or the arms can cactus or come out into a big T as you bring one side of your face to the mat. Maybe you're up high. Maybe your chest is still up high. Wherever you are, relax the low jaw. Notice where there's holding, where you're bracing to support presence. And instead, maybe you can modify the posture so that presence is a bit more accessible with ease rather than with bracing or that active resistance. So how can you modify? Where can you afford yourself support in order to sustain presence without so much effort? Stay as long as you need in your frog. As you're ready, big toes come toward one another. Walk back up to your hands. Slide the knees back toward one another into a tabletop. From your tabletop, let your hips rock side to side. Side to side. Then we'll integrate with some barrel rolls of the spine. So hips to one side, spine arcs through cat, hips dip to the other side, spine dips through cow. Barrel rolls with the spine. Change direction. As you come through your neutral spine, tuck those toes under, come back to a down dog. So your inverted V, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. And then slowly roll up, rounding the spine as you rise up. Let your shoulders circle up, back, and around. Shoulder circles. And change the direction of your shoulder circles. Release your shoulder circles, arms reach to the sky, lengthen out of the waist, stretch up. Root down into the feet, hips forward, chest up, look up, arc the spine. You're standing back bend. Come up through center. Hands slide to the heart center. Pause. Shift your weight forward and back in your feet. Find a plumb line of balance right down through the arches of the feet. So from shoulders down to hips and hips right down through the arches of the feet. Spin your palms forward, reach your fingers down for the earth, lift your heart and crown for the sky. Soften the shoulders. This is mountain pose. Rooted, stable in the base of your mountain, as grounded as that wide base of any mountain. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep feeling the support of the earth beneath the body. Feel the sustenance of breath within this body. Be here now. Let the shoulders continue to soften. Maybe the eyes close, maybe the gaze shifts downward. I heard writer Nancy Aroni recently tell a story. She was speaking with Ram Dass. Ram Dass, for those of you who aren't familiar with him, was a spiritual teacher who recently passed with an incredible story. He coined the phrase, "Be here now." And Nancy was speaking with him shortly after he had a debilitating stroke back in the mid-90s. And she asked him what the most difficult part of his after-stroke process was, as he was relearning speech. He had lost mobility in one side of his body. He was a very, very, very independent, professional, successful person. And now he was dependent on others. He had been working on a book, How Can I Help You? And then had this stroke and had to learn how to let people help him. And so Nancy had the opportunity to ask him what the most difficult part of his post-stroke world was, knowing that his entire way of being had been upturned. And his words were, in his post-stroke way of speaking, which was slurred and strained and took time. But he said, "It's not hard yet. It's not hard yet." And that really struck me as something to come back to, right? Especially in these times. It's not hard yet. So how can we support one another, find what it is that we need, ride the waves of drama, perhaps, as they come up, the mind's churnings, the emotional responses. Do what you need to ride those waves. I know the past couple days for me have kind of reminded me of those frustrated temper tantrums that we're so familiar as a kid. And just to come back to that, it's not hard yet. So take a big deep breath in through your nose. Arms reach to the sky. Exhale, hands down the midline, hinge at your hips, fold with a flat back. Inhale, fingertips along those shins, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, fold, and walk your hands out to a plank. Heels reach away, active belly. From your plank, knees stay lifted or come down as you lower to the belly. Inhale, hands slide back, cobra on your in-breath. On your exhale, lower all the way to the belly and over to your back. So you can weave in as many of those chaturangas as you need. And once you find your way to your back, just hug your knees in for your belly and find an easy rock side to side. From here, stretch your legs to the sky, reach your arms to the sky, actively flex the feet. Then scrunch your toes, scrunch your fists, bend those knees, scrunch the face, lift the head, hug everything into a tight little ball, engage, and then let everything drop down. One more time, inhale, lift the arms, the legs, the head, squeeze everything in, and then let everything drop. Take a big inhale through the nose, a full exhale through the mouth. Let the head shift side to side as you scan the body and notice anything else that you might need. And giving yourself the next few minutes to find any other movements, shimmies, shifts, or postures that you need prior to Shavasana. You might pause the video here as you really tune into your practice, what it is that you need for movement in order to feel whole and complete. And then once you feel whole and complete in your movement practice, reconvening video for Shavasana. As you're ready for Shavasana, let the body land. The arms might be alongside of you or cactus. Shimmy into a comfortable position. Feel the body settle. The energy within the body grounding, rooting down into the earth beneath. Notice the breath. Let the breath breathe itself. Notice the mind. Let thoughts of mind fade into the background of awareness. Notice any spaciousness within. Notice any spaciousness outside of this body, outside of the constructs of self. Let the spaciousness within and the spaciousness without bridge, merge, yoke. Let awareness expand into the spaciousness of all that is. It's not hard yet. Releasing into ease of being, continuing to plant those seeds of wellness and well-being getting more comfortable in that realm of spaciousness, potentiality, wellness, well-being. Keep letting go into that felt sense of spaciousness and well-being. Stay here in your Shavasana as long as you need. Namaste.